In this video, I will show you how to customize your homepage layout and widget areas, which is also the same method for customizing any of your custom widget-based pages, the layout of those and the widget areas for those. So you'll do this in the site designer. There's two ways to get there. You can go to Appearance, Snow Design Options, and Site Designer. Otherwise, you can hover over Snow Dashboard, go to Design Options, and then again, Site Designer. So in the Site Designer, you'll see your header area at the top and your footer area at the bottom. And if you want to learn how to customize those, you can look at the other videos on this support page. But for now, we're going to focus on this middle area, which is our homepage layout and the layout of any custom widget-based pages you have. So you can choose which page you want to work on using this purple dropdown. In this video, I'm just going to work on my donation page, which is a custom widget-based page that I've already created in this custom page layouts area. The most important thing to know is that you are able to control the width of your widget areas, but the height of widget areas is determined by the contents that you place within them. So that means the amount of widgets that you place in each area and the settings of those widgets. So we'll control the width here, but again, that height is determined by what you put inside of each widget area. Something to know is at the beginning of a row, all of the widgets will start at the same place. So any widgets I put in donation page center or donation page right, they are all going to have a same starting point, but they may end in different areas depending on what you put inside them. So one thing I'm going to show you real quick, as I notice a huge issue here, is how to change the name of widget areas. So if you want to change the name of one of your widget areas, you're just going to hover in that area and click the gear, and then you can type in whatever you want and press this done. For any changes to save, you're always going to want to press this Save All Design options. So now you can see that's saved. And if I click over to my widget control panel, which I can get to by going to Snow Design Options or Snow Dashboard, then Widget Control Panel, or again, Appearance Widgets. If I reload that, you will see that I now have a left and center. That would be confusing if they were named the same thing. So if I want to add a row, I'll just click this Add Row button, and then it doesn't have any widget containers in it. So I'm just going to click this to add a widget container. Then it will prompt you to give it a name. I would suggest that you use very specific names, especially for your custom widget-based pages, so that you can understand what they're for when you're in the widget control panel. So this is for my donation page. So I'm going to start off with that, and I will call it donation page 5. Just click done. Now, this is currently a full width area, but maybe I want this row to have 2 widget, side-by-side widget areas in it. So I'm going to add a column. To do that, I click on this gear outside of that row, and then I just put add column. Then I can give it a name if I want. Otherwise, you'll have the option to split it into rows. So now these 2 widget containers that I'm going to add, the contents of both of those would need to be equal to the contents of this whole side if I wanted them to end equally. So I'll call this donation bottom, right top, and donation right. So now I've got some more widget areas. Maybe I want this to have a different split. Maybe I'd like these 2 to take up more space on the page. So you can resize the width of your columns just by clicking on the line and dragging and dropping. If you want them to be split equally, you can click this gear and put split evenly. The numbers are going to look wonky, but after you save, you'll see that they are split evenly. Once you set that split evenly setting, you're no longer able to drag and drop this to a different size. So if you decide, oh, I don't like that, I'm going to switch so I can determine it. Again, you'll click that split flexibly, and then you can determine the width. Let's say I want to get rid of a widget container. I'll first need to move any widgets in it. So if you try to delete a widget container that has any widgets in it, you're going to get an error message that just tells you you need to remove the widgets from it first. To remove the widgets, you'll need to go to the widget control panel. And then you'll just, let me make sure I saved first. Then I'll need to look, that was in the donation top page or page top full width. So I see that widget here. I have the option, I could move it to a different area. I could delete it. To delete it, you can click on it, press the red delete, or you can just drag it over here and let it go. That's another way to delete. I'd also have the option of putting it into the widget storage. So widget storage is just a place to store widgets. I'm just going to move it for now. Now, when I go back to that site designer and reload, you'll see that this is empty. So now I can go ahead and delete it just like that. And if I want to delete this row as well, again, just delete it. I'll go ahead and save. And then if I reload my widget control panel, you will see that that widget area is no longer there. Other things you can do is just to move a whole row. Let's say I decided I want this row at the bottom. I can just use these double-sided arrows to drag and drop a whole row. You can also move widget areas using this four-sided arrow that you find when you hover in there. You need to move it to an open space. So you may need to create a row to drag it to. You can always delete that later if you want to kind of rearrange just to have an extra one. You can move them all around like that. Other things to know is just that if you create a ton of widget areas and you have multiple widget-based pages, it's definitely going to slow down the loading of your widget control panel. So having, a few 10 for each, homepage and your widget-based pages isn't going to cause any issues. But I've seen sites that have 70 widget areas and on one single page, and it just is going to take a very long time for your widget control panel to load, especially if you have design drafts as well. So that's just something to think about. Remember to save after you make any changes so that those will be reflected. And if you have any questions, definitely reach out via support ticket. You can send us a support ticket by clicking on this no support, then create a new support ticket.